Our theme for this week and for our bicentennial year is remembering our past, rejoicing in our present, and reimagining our future. And this week, for the first 3 days, we looked at passages that spoke about remembering or not forgetting. And today and tomorrow, we're going to focus on rejoicing. And all of these themes of remembering, rejoicing, and reimagining we see in the Bible multiple times. Today I want to encourage you to turn in the book of Psalms to Psalm 5, and it's only 12 verses long, so it wouldn't take you long to read the whole passage. And what's interesting is that this psalm is also a lament. It's a prayer for deliverance from personal enemies, and yet in a lament which begins, "Give ear to my words, O Lord, give heed to my sighing. Listen to the sound of my cry, my King and my God." And so this person is just begging God, hear me, bring me some healing, bring me some deliverance, bring me some hope. And I know many of us who both are watching this video or listening as we walk, that we've all had moments where we feel like this psalmist of we're crying out to God and the situation's been going on and it hasn't changed, and we just need some light. And what's interesting is that even though this psalm is a lament, in verse 11, the next to last verse, it says, "But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever sing for joy. Spread your protection over them, so that those who love your name may exult in you." One of the things I really appreciate about the Psalms is how many of them, like Psalm 5, are both so honest and authentic and raw and vulnerable in sharing their lamenting, their pain, their hurting, their frustration with God's seeming inactivity or God's seeming silence or lack of response. And yet, all the laments except for one still come back around to a statement or an affirmation of faith, like our verse for today, verse 11. "But let all who take refuge in you rejoice." And that's, I think, rejoicing is such an important part of life. And it sounds counterintuitive to say, I need to find ways to rejoice even in the midst of difficulty or when I'm in pain or when I have things to lament. And I know over the course of the last year, once I heard my dad's news of his cancer diagnosis and with his passing in September and dealing with that loss over the last several months, that on the one hand you're lamenting and you're mourning and you're grieving, and on the other hand it's so important to keep looking for reasons to rejoice. And it's in taking refuge in God that helps me to do that. And I think it will help you as well. Continue to take refuge in God. Continue to cry out to God in prayer. And I pray God will give you and show you reasons to rejoice.